The galaxy had long been a place of order and expectation. Each star system knew its neighbors, and every civilization believed it understood its place. Among the stars, alien races moved with confidence, assuming they were the masters of space. They studied each other carefully, always ready for war, but few ever thought much of Earth. The small blue planet was far from the center of galactic trade routes. Its technology seemed primitive, and its people were considered weak and slow to change. Yet, in the shadows of distant space, Earth had been quietly preparing. The planet's scientists and engineers had spent decades building something the galaxy could not imagine. Hidden in a remote star system, far from alien eyes, a ship unlike any other lay waiting. Its hull gleamed with metal stronger than anything in known space, and its systems pulsed with energy drawn from Earth's most advanced technology. It was called the Dreadnought Aegis, the pride of humanity, built to defend the home world and, if necessary, challenge the strongest fleets in the galaxy. Commander Rylan of the Zarath fleet had been the first to notice the anomaly. Sensors had detected a massive object moving at impossible speed through a hidden jump point near the outer rim. His analysts quickly identified the vessel as human. Rylan laughed as he watched the readings. Humans were clever, but they were small, disorganized, and slow. Sending scouts to monitor Earth's ships was routine. They had done so for decades, and the reports always suggested that humans could barely manage small planetary defense crafts, let alone a real warship. Meanwhile, on the bridge of Aegis, Captain Terran stood quietly, studying the galactic map projected in front of him. Every dot represented a star system, every line a trade route or patrol corridor. His eyes were calm but sharp. The crew around him moved with precise efficiency, preparing the ship for its first mission beyond Earth's space. They were humans, yes, but they were trained, disciplined, and ready. They had spent years learning to operate technology that could rival or surpass any alien fleet. And they had been taught something else: never underestimate the human spirit. Terran's first officer, Lena, stepped forward, her voice steady. "Captain, sensors confirm the Zarath fleet is nearby. They are approaching in formation. They are expecting a small human craft, nothing more." Terran nodded, his expression unreadable. "Then we will give them more than they expect. Keep all systems ready. Shields at full power, weapons online, and communication channels silent until we act." The Dreadnought moved silently through the void, a massive shadow in the blackness of space. Alien ships appeared on the sensors, their designs strange but familiar. Sleek and deadly, they had long dominated this region of the galaxy. Their commanders were proud, confident that no human vessel could challenge them. As the Zarath ships approached, Commander Rylan gave the order to advance. "Prepare to scan and disable," he said. "Do not underestimate them, but do not fear them either. They are small. This will be an easy victory." On Aegis, the crew continued their preparations. Engineers monitored power levels, ensuring that the Dreadnought could handle full combat operations. Weapons officers calibrated targeting systems that could strike with surgical precision. Pilots tested control thrusters, ready to maneuver the massive ship with surprising agility. Every human on board knew their role, and every role mattered. The first alien ships emerged from the darkness, and Terran gave the command. "Hold position. Observe. Wait for the right moment." His voice was calm, but every word carried authority. The humans were not rushing. They had trained for patience, for strategy, and for the element of surprise. From Rylan's perspective, the humans seemed almost passive, like children hiding behind toys. He smirked, confident in his advantage. "Open fire if they move," he ordered. "Show them the power of the Zarath fleet." But Terran did not need to fire first. Aegis was not a ship that rushed blindly into battle. It was a ship that would decide the terms of battle, shaping the fight around its strength. Sensors flickered as the Dreadnought analyzed the approaching fleet. Terran's mind was already calculating thousands of possibilities, predicting alien moves, and preparing responses that would leave the Zoroth unprepared. The humans had learned much from watching the galaxy. They knew that strength alone was not enough. Intelligence, teamwork, and courage were equally important. And on this day, humanity was ready to show the galaxy what it had become. For Rylan, it would soon be a moment of shocking discovery. The humans he had dismissed as weak and inconsequential were about to prove him wrong. The void of space was calm, but tension hung in the air like a storm waiting to break. The Dreadnought Aegis moved forward, silent and powerful, a shadow that would change the galaxy forever. And for the first time, humans prepared not only to defend their world but to make the universe pay attention. Captain Terran stood at the bridge of the Dreadnought Aegis, his eyes fixed on the holographic display. The alien fleet was advancing steadily, their bright lights cutting through the darkness of space. The Zoroth ships were large and armed with weapons capable of destroying entire cities. Yet, Terran did not show fear. He had trained for this moment, and he knew the strength of his ship and the skill of his crew. Lena, his first officer, moved quietly beside him. "Captain, their formation is tight. They expect us to react like humans always have, panicked and slow." Terran nodded slightly. "They expect that, yes. But we are not like before. We are ready. Our first strike will surprise them, and they will learn the cost of underestimating humanity." The crew around him were calm and focused. Each member had spent years learning their systems. Engineers monitored energy flows, making sure the shields could withstand the alien weapons. Weapons officers checked targeting sequences, ensuring that every shot would hit its mark. Pilots prepared to maneuver small craft around the Dreadnought to perform support strikes. Every human knew their role, and every role was critical. On the alien side, Commander Rylan paced in his command ship. He had always believed humans to be predictable. They had survived on small worlds, barely venturing into space. To him, the humans' confidence was amusing. "Their ship is large, but slow," Rylan said to his officers. "We can surround them, destroy them, and move on. Prepare to fire on my command." Rylan did not understand the humans. Their strength was not only in their weapons but in their minds and their courage. Captain Terran had already analyzed the alien formation and predicted their first moves. He was not waiting to react. He was planning, calculating, and preparing to control the battle from the first moment. Terran turned to the crew. "Prepare to engage on my mark. Remember, we fight smart, not just hard. Strike where they are weak and avoid where they are strong. Keep communication silent. We do not give them warning." The crew moved with precision. The Dreadnought thrummed with energy, its massive engines humming softly. Outside, the alien fleet grew larger as more ships arrived. Sensors detected dozens of warships moving into position. Rylan smiled. He thought the humans would panic now. But the humans remained calm. Terran activated the ship's advanced sensors and targeting systems. The Dreadnought's weapons were powerful, but accuracy was their greatest strength. With careful calculation, Aegis would strike vital systems on enemy ships while avoiding unnecessary damage. Every shot would count. Suddenly, a warning flashed on the display. The Zoroth fleet was adjusting to surround them. Terran's lips tightened. "Good," he said softly. "Let them come closer. Their confidence will be their mistake." The humans had learned patience. They had learned to fight not only with weapons but with strategy. The Dreadnought moved slightly, positioning itself to maximize the effectiveness of its first strike. Engineers confirmed shield integrity, ensuring the ship could withstand the initial bombardment. Weapons officers prepared plasma cannons, rail guns, and missile arrays. Every system was ready. Lena looked at the captain. "They are closing in. If we act now, we can hit the first wave before they realize it." Terran nodded. Wait one more moment. Timing is everything. Strike too early, and they will adjust. Too late, and they will overwhelm us. Patience will give us the advantage. The Zoroth fleet began to open fire. Energy blasts cut through space, but the shields of Aegis absorbed the attacks without damage. For the first time, the aliens realized that their weapons were less effective than expected. Panic began to spread among their ranks. Terran gave the command. Fire! In an instant, the Dreadnought responded. Plasma beams shot from its turrets, striking the engines of the nearest alien ships. Missiles tore through their defensive shields, causing explosions that lit up the darkness. The Zoroth ships tried to retreat and regroup, but Aegis had already calculated their most likely escape path. Smaller human craft darted around the Dreadnought, cutting off reinforcements and isolating targets. The first alien ships were destroyed almost instantly. Commander Ryland's confidence wavered. He had never seen humans fight like this. The Dreadnought was not just strong. It was precise, intelligent, and fearless. His fleet, once proud and confident, now faced a new reality. Humans could not only survive but dominate the battlefield. Terran watched calmly as the battle unfolded. He knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had long underestimated humanity, and now it was learning the truth. The humans were clever, brave, and united. They fought with skill and strategy, not just weapons. And the Dreadnought Aegis would lead them to show the universe what humanity was capable of. In the silence between attacks, Terran turned to his crew. Remember this, he said. We fight for Earth, for our people, and for the future. We do not back down, and we do not falter. Today, the galaxy will remember humanity. Outside, the alien ships hesitated, their formations breaking under the sudden, unexpected assault. For the first time, the Zoroth began to feel the fear that humans had long learned to master. The battle had begun, and humanity was ready to show the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and determination were more powerful than any weapon. The void of space was alive with flashes of light as the Dreadnought Aegis and the Zoroth fleet clashed. Energy beams cut through the darkness, exploding against alien hulls. For centuries, the galaxy had believed humans to be weak and unprepared for true warfare. Now, every alien ship that faced Aegis began to understand how wrong they had been. Captain Terran stood on the bridge, eyes calm and focused. His hands moved smoothly over the controls as he coordinated the ship's weapons and defenses. The Dreadnought's shields shimmered as alien fire struck, but the vessel was built to endure far more than the Zoroth could deliver. Every system functioned with perfect synchronization. Every crew member knew exactly what to do. Lena, standing beside him, called out, "Captain, the forward assault ships are in range. Targeting systems are locked on critical engines. We can disable them with one coordinated strike." Terran nodded. "Do it. Focus on precision. We do not destroy what we cannot control. Send a clear message, but leave some alive to tell the tale." On board Aegis, the weapons officers moved quickly. Plasma cannons charged, missile bays opened, and rail guns aligned with the first wave of enemy vessels. Outside, the Zoroth ships approached confidently, their bright hulls reflecting their arrogance. They had never faced humans like this before. Commander Rylan watched from his command ship, pride turning to unease. "What is happening?" he asked. "Their shields absorb our fire. Their weapons strike with deadly accuracy. This should not be possible." The first human salvo struck. Targeted plasma beams hit the engines of the largest Zoroth ships. Explosions erupted as energy cores overloaded, sending debris spinning through space. Smaller vessels attempting to flank Aegis were intercepted by human fighter craft that moved with agility the aliens could not match. Each strike was calculated, surgical, and devastating. Rylan barked orders, trying to regain control. "Focus fire. Surround the Dreadnought. Overwhelm them with numbers. But Terran had already anticipated this. The Dreadnought shifted in space, moving in a pattern designed to maximize the effectiveness of its weapons while avoiding concentrated enemy fire. The smaller human craft darted through gaps in the alien formation, disrupting their ranks and cutting communication lines. The Zoroth fleet began to falter, confusion spreading like wildfire. "Forward batteries, concentrate on their lead ships," Terran commanded. "Secondary units, intercept reinforcements. Keep the center clear." Within moments, the alien formation was broken. Ships collided in the chaos, unable to maneuver effectively. Explosions flared across space, each one a reminder that human ingenuity and courage could not be underestimated. The Dreadnought's crew worked with calm precision, their discipline a stark contrast to the panic in the Zoroth fleet. On the bridge of the Dreadnought, Terran allowed himself a small, satisfied nod. "They are learning," he said softly. "The galaxy has always underestimated us. Today, they are learning the cost of that mistake." The aliens were not ready for humans who could fight with both brains and bravery. They had expected panic, disorganization, and fear. Instead, they faced calm, coordinated precision. Aegis was not just a ship, it was a symbol of everything humanity had become: resilient, intelligent, and unyielding. Ryland's frustration grew. "How can this be? They are too small, too weak. Yet they destroy my fleet with ease. Pull back. Regroup." But it was too late. The human crew had already turned the tide. Smaller Zoroth ships that tried to escape were intercepted and disabled. Communications between alien ships were jammed. Aegis was no longer just defending itself, it controlled the battle entirely. "Captain," Lena said, pointing to a large alien cruiser struggling to maintain power, "we can finish this one cleanly without unnecessary loss. It will be a clear warning to the rest." Terran considered for a moment. "Do it? Let them live, but cripple their command. They must understand that underestimating humans is dangerous." Plasma beams struck the cruiser, and its engines failed. It drifted helplessly among the wreckage of its fleet. Other alien ships paused, unsure of what to do next. The Dreadnought Aegis remained a moving fortress, unyielding, precise, and relentless. Across the galaxy, sensors on distant worlds began to pick up the battle. The legend of Earth's Dreadnought, thought to be a myth or exaggeration, was becoming reality. Civilizations that had ignored humanity were forced to reconsider their assumptions. Fear, respect, and curiosity mixed together as reports reached councils and fleets across star systems. On the bridge, Terran spoke quietly to his crew. "Remember this day. We fight not only for Earth but for every human alive. Today, we show the galaxy that courage, intelligence, and unity are stronger than any weapon." Outside, the Zoroth fleet was in chaos. Ships scattered, commanders shouted orders in vain, and the Dreadnought moved like a predator among them. The humans had delivered the first strike, precise and devastating. The battle was far from over, but one truth had already become clear: Earth was no longer a small, weak planet. And Captain Terran, standing calmly amidst the action, knew the galaxy had just begun to learn the true strength of humanity. The Dreadnought Aegis moved like a shadow through the battlefield, silent but powerful. Around it, the Zoroth fleet struggled to regain control. Every human on board worked with precision, their training and discipline shining in the chaos of space combat. Captain Terran observed the enemy formations carefully, reading every movement and predicting every maneuver. "Captain," Lena said, pointing at the sensors, "they are trying to reorganize. Their leaders are signaling a flanking attack. They believe overwhelming numbers will crush us." Terran's eyes narrowed. "Let them come. They do not understand that speed and numbers mean nothing against strategy. Prepare all tactical systems. We will turn their confidence into their weakness." In the enemy fleet, Commander Ryland growled in frustration. He had underestimated the humans, and now his pride was beginning to crumble. Surround them. Hit them from all sides. Show no mercy. But the humans were ready. Small fighter craft darted from the Dreadnought, weaving through the alien ships with incredible precision. They disrupted formations, cut off reinforcements, and created openings for the Dreadnought's main weapons. Aegis itself shifted in a calculated pattern, presenting different angles to each approaching enemy while protecting vulnerable points. Every human move was part of a larger plan. Forward batteries, lock onto the central cruisers, Terran commanded. Secondary units, intercept any ship attempting to escape. Maintain shield integrity and energy flow at maximum levels. Plasma cannons fired in perfect synchronization, striking the alien ships at their engines and power cores. Explosions illuminated the darkness of space, sending debris spinning like stars in orbit. The Zoroth fleet faltered under the precision of human tactics. Where they expected chaos, they found calculation and order. "Captain, sensors show a large group trying to flank from the left," Lena reported. "They are confident they can outmaneuver us." Terran's lips curved into a small smile. "Then we will teach them the danger of overconfidence. Deploy interceptors. Lead them into our trap." Human fighters sped ahead, baiting the alien ships toward a narrow corridor of space where Aegis had positioned itself perfectly. Energy beams and missiles waited in the shadows. As the Zoroth ships advanced, they suddenly found themselves surrounded. Their engines were disabled in an instant, and their shields were shattered by the coordinated human attack. Rylan's voice cracked with anger. "Pull back. Regroup. They are not just strong. They are clever." "How can this be?" Terran did not respond. His mind was already calculating the next steps. The humans had learned the power of thinking ahead, predicting enemy moves, and exploiting weaknesses. Every strike they made was part of a larger plan. Aegis was not a ship that merely fought. It commanded the battle, shaping the enemy's decisions and turning their strengths into vulnerabilities. "Captain," Lena said, "the lead cruiser is now isolated. We can disable it completely without destroying it. They will see our power but survive to warn others." Terran nodded. "Do it. Let them understand the cost of underestimating humans. Precision, not destruction, is our message." The weapons officers activated targeting systems, and plasma beams struck the cruiser's engines. It drifted helplessly, unable to move or fire, while smaller ships around it were similarly neutralized. The Dreadnought and its supporting craft continued to control the battlefield, never overextending, always moving with careful purpose. From the alien perspective, fear began to spread. The Zoroth had never faced an enemy that combined courage, intelligence, and discipline so effectively. Their numbers meant nothing when humans controlled the fight. Every time they tried to regroup, the humans anticipated their moves. Every strike by the Dreadnought demonstrated strategy and power far beyond what they expected from Earth. "Captain," Lena said, "their fleet morale is dropping. Confusion is spreading. They are beginning to retreat." Terran's eyes remained on the holographic map. "Good. But we will not let them escape without a lesson. Keep pressure on them. Do not destroy their fleet completely, let them remember what they faced. They must carry the memory of human skill and precision back to their leaders." The Dreadnought moved gracefully through the battlefield, a massive yet agile force. Smaller human craft darted around enemy ships, disabling weapons, breaking formations, and protecting the main vessel. Every movement was intentional. Every decision measured. Humanity was showing the galaxy that they were not just survivors. They were innovators, strategists, and warriors. Rylan realized the truth too late. The humans were not relying on brute force alone. They combined intelligence, teamwork, and bravery to create a force that was almost unstoppable. His fleet was falling apart, and yet they still tried to fight. The Dreadnought Aegis was more than a ship, it was a symbol of human potential, resilience, and determination. Terran looked around at his crew. "Remember this day," he said. "We are showing the galaxy what humanity can achieve when we work together. This is the power of strategy, courage, and unity. Never forget it." The battle continued, but the humans had already changed the course of it. The aliens were learning, slowly, that they could not rely on size or numbers alone. Intelligence, discipline, and courage could turn the smallest world into a force capable of challenging empires. And in that moment, Captain Terran knew that the Dreadnought Aegis had done more than survive. It had proven that humans were a species to be respected, feared, and never underestimated. The battle raged across the void, but the humans had begun to take full control. The Dreadnought Aegis moved with confidence, its massive hull cutting through the chaos like a blade. Every alien ship that approached found itself trapped in carefully calculated maneuvers. Captain Terran observed the holographic display, analyzing every movement, every energy spike, and every opening in the enemy formation. "Captain," Lena said, her voice steady, "the Zarath fleet is trying a concentrated attack on the starboard side. They believe overwhelming force will break our defenses." Terran shook his head. "Let them think that. Prepare the counter. Use the smaller craft to flank and isolate their lead ships. This is the moment we shift from defense to complete control." The alien commanders believed their numbers would win. They had no idea that humans had trained for years to fight against impossible odds. Every crew member on Aegis knew their role. Engineers monitored power levels, keeping shields and weapons running at maximum efficiency. Weapons officers calculated targeting solutions faster than any alien AI could anticipate. Pilots moved with flawless precision, guiding the smaller craft to disable enemy vessels without risking the main dreadnought. Commander Rylan watched helplessly from his command ship. His pride had turned to fear. The humans were not reacting, they were predicting. Every move he made was countered before it could take effect. He barked orders, but confusion and panic spread across his fleet. Ships collided, engines failed, and communications broke down under the precision strikes from Aegis. "Captain," Lena said, pointing to a large alien supercruiser at the center of the formation, "their command ship is exposed. If we disable it, their entire fleet will collapse." Terran nodded. "Prepare the strike team. Stealth units go in first. Disable their engines and weapons. We leave them alive to carry the warning. Precision and strategy will teach them more than destruction ever could." Small human craft raced forward, unseen until it was too late. They slipped past sensors and defenses, striking at the heart of the supercruiser. Energy cores were overloaded, engines disabled, and weapon systems jammed. The ship drifted helplessly, unable to coordinate its fleet. Confusion spread rapidly among the remaining Zarath vessels. Rylan's voice grew frantic. "Pull back. Regroup immediately. They are destroying our command structure." But the humans were already one step ahead. Aegis shifted its massive hull, positioning itself to control the battlefield. Every alien movement was predicted, every escape route blocked. Smaller craft intercepted those trying to flee. Plasma cannons fired with deadly accuracy, striking weak points in alien armor and disabling more ships. "Captain, the fleet is breaking," Lena reported. "Their formation is collapsing. Morale is dropping fast." Terran allowed himself a small nod. "Good. Maintain pressure, but do not destroy them completely. They must remember what humanity can do. The lesson is in control, not annihilation." The turning point became clear. The aliens had lost their advantage in numbers, speed, and coordination. Their attacks were no longer effective. Every move was countered, every strategy anticipated. The humans had turned the battle into a demonstration of discipline, intelligence, and courage. Aegis was the center of this force, a fortress that commanded respect and fear. Rylan's frustration became desperation. He ordered a retreat, hoping to save what remained of his fleet. But Terran had anticipated this too. Human pilots blocked the most likely escape routes, forcing alien ships into areas where the Dreadnought could strike with maximum effect. Engines were disabled, shields neutralized, and morale shattered. The remaining Zarath ships fled in chaos, leaving the battlefield in the hands of humanity. "Captain," Lena said, her eyes bright with determination, "the remaining ships are retreating. They are spreading word of what they faced here." Terran looked at the display, observing the scattered alien vessels. "Good. Let the galaxy hear the story. Let them remember that humans are not to be underestimated. Today, Earth has proven its strength, intelligence, and courage." The Dreadnought moved slowly through the remnants of the battle, a silent sentinel among the debris. Smaller craft performed cleanup operations, disabling damaged ships without unnecessary destruction. Every human on board understood the importance of this moment. Humanity was not just surviving, it was showing the galaxy that it could dominate with skill, strategy, and bravery. Ryland's fleet had been humbled. The aliens had learned that raw power alone could not defeat humans. Intelligence, teamwork, and courage combined to create a force that no empire had anticipated. The legend of Earth's Dreadnought, once dismissed as fantasy, had become a reality. Terran addressed his crew. "Remember this day," he said. "We have shown that humans can face impossible odds and emerge victorious. Our strength is not only in weapons but in unity, strategy, and the will to protect what we love. The galaxy will remember this, and we will continue to be ready for whatever comes next." Outside, the battlefield grew quiet. The Dreadnought Aegis remained a symbol of human power and resolve. The Zarath fleet had fled, carrying with them the lesson that humans were not a species to be underestimated. Across the stars, whispers began to spread. Earth was no longer a minor player. Humanity had arrived, and its strength had just been demonstrated to the galaxy. Captain Terran stood silently on the bridge, watching the stars. He knew this was only the beginning. The galaxy had seen a glimpse of human potential, but there was much more to come. With courage, intelligence, and unity, humanity would continue to prove that it could face any challenge and emerge stronger. The battle had turned. The Dreadnought had achieved what many thought impossible. Humanity had made its mark, and the galaxy would never forget the day Earth's Dreadnought showed the true power of humans. The Zarath fleet had fled, but the story of what had happened in that dark corner of the galaxy traveled faster than any fleet could move. Across star systems, communications networks buzzed with reports. The humans of Earth had not only survived, they had dominated a fleet that had once been considered unbeatable. Ships that had thought themselves invincible now carried tales of precision strikes, unstoppable tactics, and a level of intelligence and courage that no one had expected from the Blue Planet. Captain Terran stood on the bridge of the Dreadnought Aegis, watching the distant flashes of debris drifting through space. His crew moved with calm efficiency, repairing minor damage, recalibrating systems, and preparing for any threats that might come. The battle was over, but its impact was only beginning. Lena approached, her eyes scanning the sensor readings. "Captain, reports from nearby star systems indicate that other civilizations are taking notice. They are sharing data on the Dreadnought and the human tactics used. Entire fleets are reconsidering their strategies when it comes to Earth." Terran nodded thoughtfully. "Good. Let them know that humans are not a species to ignore. We do not seek unnecessary conflict, but we will defend ourselves with intelligence, courage, and unity. Fear is only natural when you meet someone prepared to stand against the impossible." Across the galaxy, leaders of distant civilizations held emergency councils. Holodisplays showed the damage to the Zarath fleet, and every analysis pointed to the same conclusion: humanity had changed the rules of engagement. Ships designed for overwhelming force had been defeated with calculated precision. Strategy, coordination, and ingenuity had proven more powerful than raw firepower. Some systems debated forming alliances with humanity, while others quietly prepared defenses, understanding that the underestimated planet might soon become a major player in galactic affairs. Back on Aegis, Captain Terran continued to observe the aftermath. He had not fought for recognition or fear, he had fought to protect Earth and to show that humans could rise to challenges thought impossible. Every crew member understood the meaning of this victory. It was more than survival, it was a declaration that humans would never be dismissed, underestimated, or ignored again. "Captain," Lena said, her voice calm but firm, "we are receiving messages from planets beyond the Zareth territories. Some fleets are retreating, some are pausing their attacks elsewhere, and others are requesting diplomatic contact with Earth. The word is spreading like wildfire." Terran allowed himself a small smile. "Let them come. Let them see that humanity stands ready, not only to defend itself but to prove its place in the galaxy. We will not strike first, but we will never shy away from what we must protect. The galaxy is learning the lesson we intended." In distant star systems, pilots and commanders reviewed footage of the battle. Human ships moved with an intelligence that computers alone could not explain. Tactics that had once been considered impossible were now recorded, analyzed, and debated. Analysts admitted that humans had used creativity, courage, and unity in ways that no one had expected. Fear began to replace arrogance. Every civilization that had looked down upon Earth reconsidered its assumptions. The small blue planet, long ignored, had become a force worthy of attention and respect. On the Dreadnought, engineers worked quietly. Every system was checked, every weapon recalibrated, every shield reinforced. Humans were ready for what might come next. The galaxy had learned to fear them not because they sought to dominate, but because they had the power, skill, and courage to defend themselves against any challenge. Lena looked at the captain. "They are watching us now, Captain. Every move we make will be recorded and analyzed. Humans are no longer unknown. We are becoming a symbol of strength and intelligence." Terran's gaze turned to the stars beyond. "Yes, and that is exactly what they should see. The galaxy must understand that courage, intelligence, and unity are as strong as any weapon. We fight for our home, for our people, and for the future of humanity. That is a power no one can ignore." Reports continued to arrive from distant regions. Entire fleets had retreated at the mention of Earth's Dreadnought. Some civilizations sent messages requesting peaceful contact, wanting to understand the humans before they became a threat. Others strengthened defenses, acknowledging that humanity had risen from obscurity to command respect. Fear, respect, and curiosity intertwined as the story of the battle traveled across the stars. Captain Terran walked slowly across the bridge, observing his crew. They were calm, disciplined, and ready for whatever came next. The humans had proven that they could survive impossible odds, control a battle against overwhelming force, and leave a lasting impression on the galaxy. The Dreadnought Aegis floated silently among the stars, a symbol of human ingenuity, bravery, and strategy. The galaxy had learned a lesson that day. Humanity was no longer just a small, weak species on a distant planet. Humans were clever, disciplined, and courageous. They had faced the impossible and emerged victorious. And as the stars stretched endlessly ahead, Captain Terran knew that this was only the beginning. The galaxy had begun to fear humanity, but it had also begun to respect it. Earth had entered a new era, one in which humans would no longer be underestimated. Across the cosmos, the story of the Dreadnought and its crew would echo for generations, a reminder that courage, intelligence, and unity could change the course of history. The battlefield was quiet now. The remnants of the Zareth fleet drifted through space, disabled but still intact. The Dreadnought Aegis moved steadily among the debris, its massive hull a symbol of human strength and ingenuity. Captain Terran stood on the bridge, observing the stars beyond, calm but alert. The battle was over, but its meaning stretched far beyond the scattered wreckage. Humanity had proven itself to the galaxy. Lena approached, her expression reflecting pride and determination. "Captain, reports from multiple star systems indicate that the story of this battle is spreading rapidly. Civilizations that once ignored Earth are now reconsidering their strategies, alliances, and defenses. Entire fleets are retreating, and diplomatic contacts are being requested. Terran nodded slowly. Good. Let them see that humans are not to be underestimated. We fight for our world, our people, and our future. That is a power that cannot be measured in weapons alone. Strategy, courage, and unity define us. On board the Dreadnought, the crew continued their work. Engineers repaired minor damage from the battle. Weapons officers recalibrated systems, ensuring readiness for any future threat. Pilots reviewed combat data, learning from every maneuver and every strike. Each member of the crew understood that they had participated in a historic moment. They were not just soldiers, they were representatives of humanity, showing the galaxy what their species could achieve. Far across the stars, the Zarath leaders convened in emergency councils. They had faced humans before, but never like this. The Dreadnought had shown more than strength, it had demonstrated intelligence, precision, and the ability to control an entire battle. Commanders and admirals debated how to respond, some advocating retreat, others caution, but all agreed on one thing: humans were no longer a threat to be ignored. Back on Aegis, Captain Terran addressed his crew. Today, we have proven that humanity can rise to challenges once thought impossible. We have shown that courage, intelligence, and discipline are as strong as any weapon. Remember this day. Remember the discipline, the unity, and the strategy that brought us victory. The galaxy will remember as well. Lena glanced at the captain. They will remember, Captain. Every civilization that observed or heard of this battle will understand that humans are a force to be respected. Some may fear us, but fear often brings caution, and caution can save countless lives in the future. Terran allowed himself a small smile. Yes. Fear is a natural response when a species meets the unexpected. But respect is earned. Today, we have earned it. The human crew continued their work as the Dreadnought returned to Earth's orbit. Ships in nearby systems watched quietly, unsure of what to expect from the planet they had long ignored. Humanity had made its mark not by aggression but through skill, courage, and the will to protect what they loved. The blue planet, once considered insignificant, had become a symbol of potential and strength. In the coming weeks, messages arrived from distant worlds. Some sought diplomacy, eager to learn more about humanity. Others strengthened defenses, acknowledging that Earth had risen from obscurity to become a player in galactic affairs. The reputation of humans spread quickly, a mixture of awe, caution, and curiosity following in its wake. Captain Terran walked across the bridge, observing the calm and focused crew. "This is only the beginning," he said softly. "The galaxy now knows that humans are clever, brave, and united. We have a responsibility to show that power can be wielded wisely and with purpose. Let this victory be a reminder to every civilization that humanity will defend itself and its home, but also that we can inspire respect through intelligence and courage." Lena nodded. "We have made history, Captain. The Dreadnought will be remembered as the vessel that changed the galaxy's view of Earth. The story of this battle will be told for generations." Terran looked out at the stars, thinking of the future. Yes. Humanity's journey is just beginning. But today, we have proven that no challenge is too great when we work together, think clearly, and act with courage. The galaxy will remember the Dreadnought and the humans who sailed it. And when it does, it will know that we are not to be underestimated. As the Dreadnought Aegis settled into orbit, a sense of quiet pride filled the crew. They had faced impossible odds, controlled a battle against overwhelming force, and changed the perception of their species forever. Humanity had earned its place in the galaxy, not through domination, but through skill, intelligence, and courage. The stars stretched endlessly ahead, a vast stage for the future adventures of humanity. Captain Terran knew that more challenges would come, more threats would rise, and more tests of courage and strategy awaited. But he also knew that humans had proven themselves ready. Earth's dreadnought had entered battle, and the galaxy had learned a lesson it would never forget. Humanity had arrived, and its legend had begun.